The universe, part 2. Guys, before I get started, we need to have an understanding in our faith. When believing in the Bible, you have to understand the Bible in general. It makes sense as believers, but also things that we cannot understand, like Noah's flood. The reason we can't understand is because of what we cannot see and what we did not see. We didn't see Jesus Christ. We didn't see Moses take 600,000 Hebrew Israelites to the promised land. Even Moses himself didn't even go to the promised land. So there's things we just don't understand. But because of our faith, we have to believe in these unbelievable things. So if you can believe in the Bible, you can believe in what I'm telling you. But at the same time, don't believe in anything I'm telling you because you need to study it for yourself. Let's go back to Genesis. Whew, this is going to be good right here. You guys got to check this out. So Genesis chapter 1, in my last video about the universe, I explained in verses 1 through 9 of the creation in just a few couple days. So let's just go back to Genesis 1:1. Genesis chapter 1, verses 1 and 2. And it says, "In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep." Okay? Now, think about this. Can we live on an earth that is without form? And we clearly, when you go outside your doors, when I go outside my house, the earth looks beautiful. The sun is out, birds are chirping, crickets are going crazy. Everybody going out, doing their thing, shopping, whatever you can think of. Can you do that on an earth that's without form and void? And darkness was on over the face of the deep? I don't think so. Watch what the prophet Isaiah has to say about this, what I'm talking about. The prophet Isaiah, he's a major prophet, just to let you guys know. Isaiah chapter 45, verse 18 says, "For thus saith the Lord," this is a prophecy, "for thus saith the Lord that created the heavens, God himself that formed the earth and made it." Okay? When God makes something, it's complete, it's perfect. "He hath established it. He created it not in vain. He formed it to be inhabited." Like I said in the last video, "I am the Lord, there is none else." Why would Isaiah say that? Why did he say he created it not in vain, for he formed it to be inhabited? But you can't live on something like Genesis 1:2 says. You can't live on something that's without form and void. So now we have a conflicting issue here. The Bible is not contradicting itself. It's just that what man has studied and what man is telling other men that you got to believe in. NASA, and what they're seeing in Pluto and pictures of Mars and stuff. Come on, guys. No, do not believe in that. You can get your own telescope, and from the pictures that you see on NASA, it's not the same thing you see in the sky. When you look at pictures of stars, they tell you that stars are 24,000 light years away. Guys, they don't even exist. Those stars that you see in heaven are angels. You're in your physical fleshly body, you're seeing angels that God created. The angels are in the sky doing what they're supposed to do. They do anything different, they're sinning. You see what I'm saying? Humans and angels have two different destinies. Angels are perfect, we're not. They have a job to do, we do too. But our job's a whole lot different than what they're doing. They're ministering spirits. They're ministering to us. We are sinful. We minister in our sinful bodies, but we're not as perfect as the angels. Their knowledge is way well above ours. You have to understand that. I'm going to read Psalms 18 again. Read verses 7 through 15. Watch this. Watch again why the earth was the way it was. Let's get an understanding why before I move on. You won't like this. I'm going to read this again because we already read this before, but we're going to read it again. "Then the earth shook and trembled. The foundations also of the hills moved and were shaken because he was wroth." Who was wroth? We're talking about God here. "There went up a smoke out of his nostrils and fire out of his mouth devoured. Coals were kindled by it. He bowed the heavens also and came down, and darkness was under his feet." That's the darkness that Genesis is talking about. God is in the light up here. For darkness to be under his feet, there's something going on beneath him while there's darkness. Come on now, remember, darkness is never good. He said the light was good, but not the darkness. So moving on, he says, darkness was under his feet, and he rode upon a cherub and did fly. Yeah, he did fly upon the wings of the wind. He made darkness his secret place. His pavilion round about him were dark waters and thick clouds of the skies. When you're outside at nighttime, what do you think you're seeing? You think you're just seeing a dark sky? It's more to it than that. They're covering the third heaven. The glass is above us. That's the first heaven with the stars and the clouds, lightning and snow, rain. That's the first heaven. Above all those clouds and stars is the second heaven that the Bible does not talk about, period. It don't talk about it. That's because there's water above us, above the stars, above the moon and the sun. The sun is not in water. Remember, I told you, fire cannot burn in water. The sun is fire. From what NASA tells you, the sun is fire. But last time I think the Bible said that the sun is light, not fire. Yeah, there's heat coming out of the light of the sun, but you have to realize is the sun is not fire. It's just light with heat on it. God is a consuming fire. Angels, fire. The Holy Spirit, fire. It never said the sun was fire. It said the sun was light and the moon was light. Is the moon on fire if the moon is light too? No. No. You can go to videos and look up the moon where people have these like thermal lasers where the guy was outside. He flashed the laser at the ground with the moonlight beaming, correct? Watch this. The moonlight is beaming on the ground. So he takes, let's just throw a number out here. He takes a temperature of the ground. Let's say the ground was 30 degrees. Okay, watch this. So 30 degrees is on the ground. So he takes a temperature of the shade. And guess the temperature for the shade under the tree? It was cooler than the one where the moon was shining the light. So that means the moon has its own heat. But it's not a fire, though. You think these things right here, guys, you have to question these things. Is the Bible lying to me, or is NASA telling me the truth? Well, we all know the answer to that. The Bible don't lie. The Bible don't contradict itself. Man contradicts itself. That's just like me telling you, 1 + 1 is 3. Oh, snap. My bad, guys. I lied. 1 + 1 is 2. We make the mistakes. God don't. Question these things. Let me finish in Psalms. His pavilion round about him were dark waters and thick clouds of the skies. At the brightness that was before him, his thick clouds passed, moved out the way, hailstones and coals of fire. The Lord also thundered in the heavens, and the highest gave his voice. Hailstones and coals of fire, yet he sent out his arrows and scattered them, and he shot out lightnings and discomfited them. Who are them? The angels that live before us. Then the channels of water were seen, and the foundations of the world were discovered. At thy rebuke, O Lord, at the blast of the breath of thy nostrils. Okay, now notice I said angels about the discomfort them part. Think about this. It's common sense, like I told you. Watch this. Let's go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 4. Now you're thinking, what does Jeremiah got to do with this? Jeremiah, the prophet, the weeping prophet? Woo, it's about to get deep. It's getting on fire in here. We go to Jeremiah chapter 4, verses 23 to 28. Please watch this. I beheld the earth, and lo, it was without form and void, and the heavens, and they had no light. I beheld the mountains, and lo, they trembled, and all the hills moved lightly. I beheld, and lo, there was no man, and all the birds of the heaven were fled. Oh, my spirit is, ooh. So, if you read in the creation, remember I told you animals are before man. The fowls and the fish of the earth were here before the 6th day. Fish and birds were created on the 5th day. So, if there was no man, that means the 6th day hasn't come yet. Understand what I'm saying? This all makes sense. He said, behold, and lo, there was no man, and all the birds of the heavens were fled. I beheld, and lo, the fruitful place was a wilderness. A wilderness. You can't live on a wilderness. And all the cities thereof were broken down at the presence of the Lord and by his fierce anger. For thus hath the Lord said, the whole land shall be desolate, yet I will not make a full end. For this shall the earth mourn, and the heavens above be black. Oh my God. Do you hear what I'm saying? I'm not even done yet. He just said, For this shall the earth mourn and the heavens above be black. What do you see when you look outside at nighttime? The heavens shall be black. The second heaven shall be black. The first heaven is not black. There's three heavens. The one heaven you cannot see because it's covered. The second heaven covers heaven that we cannot see. God is above us. God is not away like 1 million light years away. He's right above us, watching us. We cannot see him, guys. God is above. He's right above us. We're on this earth right here, guys. He's right here above us, and we keep trying to say that planets and supernovas and black holes and everything you can think of in space exists. But Jeremiah is saying something totally different. NASA is not real. I'm on fire about this because this right here, knowing what the earth looks like and what they tell you can be the difference between somebody believing in God. People say that the flat earth and round earth doesn't matter, but it can matter because that can show somebody if what Jarrell is saying on this video is true. Maybe I need to look in this whole Jesus thing. The Bible altogether tells you why the world is what it is. I'm not even done yet. So I'm going to read that part again. For this shall the earth mourn and the heavens above be black. Because I have spoken it, I have proposed it, and will not repent, neither will I turn back from it. That is your answer. Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 23 and 28 proves that there were angels living before us. There were people here. Wait till I get to part 3. Part 3 is going to be talking about Satan and what he did and for why these reasons are spoken of. Stay tuned for more. I got more coming at you. This is the universe part 2. Let's dig into the secrets of what God was hiding. And it's for kings to search out the matter. This is Hard Truth Ministries, and I'm not done with you. God bless you guys.